pills, I'm addicted to the push. There's a fight inside of me, I'm wrestling my doubt. The bill's something bigger than a maybe or a clout. More than just a wannabe, talking on the couch. I'm pouring all this pain in the blueprints of a house. You could pose and play, strike a look for a day, but it takes real grit to make a name that'll stay. You brag about a booth and a drink in the night. I'm talking 4 a.m., lonely screen, long fights. It isn't in a back room, strobe light hype. It's early alarms and them dark phone lights. Why you chasing that last call, last song, last high? I'm chasing that last name written in the sky. Yo, this that grind talk, 4 a.m. mind talk. You just hit the club, I've been running up the clock. You watching my back, man, you so far back. You can't even get close enough to mine and attack. I'm in the gym, building both body in the bank. Heart rate, heavyweight, fill another tank. You live for the night, I live for the climb. I don't party with the crowd, I just party with the grind. Hey, others say to watch my back, they gon' do you wrong. But I look over my shoulder, ain't nobody that strong. They still chasing some status I already passed. You can't threaten my lane when you jogging and last. Sweat drip in the rack, that's my diamond chain. Each plate, each rep, engraving my name. While you flexing a flick, I'm stretching my frame. Same hour, same earth, whole different game. Alarm go off, that's a war horn ring. Every early morning like a title fight swing. I'm shadow boxing doubt, uppercut to the fib. By the time your night ends, I'm a whole new tip. This that grind time talk, 4 a.m. mind talk. You just hit the club, I've been running up the clock. You watching my back, man, you so far back. You can't even get close another mile in attack. I'm in the gym, building both body in the bank. Heart rate, heavyweight, filling up the tank. You live for the night, I live for the climb. I don't party with the crowd, I just party with the grind. Early bird, never scared, I've been wide awake. You dream big, I bleed big, that's a different stake. You want fame, I want legacy, that different lane. You want now, I want always, that's a different name. Different name, different name, different name. This that grind time talk, 4 a.m. mind talk. You just hit the club, I've been running up the clock. You watching my back, man, you so far back. You can't even get close another mile in attack. I'm in the gym, building both body in the bank. Heart rate, heavyweight, filling up the tank. You live for the night, I live for the climb. I don't party with the crowd, I just party with the grind.
You with today's you.
With today's
Good morning, Grit Nation, and welcome to an amazing Thursday. Amazing Thursday. Good morning, Kyle. Good morning, Heidi. If you are watching this over on YouTube, whether it be on the replay or live, we have currently comments up from our Facebook group. And I just want to say thank you for stopping by. Whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this on the replay, thank you for taking time out. No matter how many times I listen to this song, I absolutely love it. Yes, we are. We are Grit Nation, and I am Coach Grit, affectionately known as Coach Grit, and you are watching Coffee with Coach on April 23rd, 2026. And I am so excited that you're here. Good morning, Alice. Good morning, Clarissa. I hope that y'all are doing well this morning. And we have got quite a bit to talk about this morning. First of all, let's get some things off the table. We do have the current Kyle says this song does absolutely slap, as the kids say. You know, talking about kids and what they say, if you ever want to stay young, marry a teacher, because if it wasn't for Miss Coach and her teaching and being a high school teacher and coming home every day and saying some random stuff, I'm like, what does that mean? And she's like, the kids say it. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. But let's talk about some things we need to get off the table. First of all, we do have May 4th, we do have the basic training workshop that is going to be getting kicked off. I am excited about that. I was working on some of the outline yesterday, more just fine tuning the instructor notes and things like that. This is going to be for those someone mentioned in the workshop. So we have a group that is set aside already for those who have registered and signed up. And someone made the statement, it's always good for a refresher. You think? It's a refresher. I know that some of you have done our Grit basic training workshop before, but this is a whole new level. And we are bringing some new content as we get ready to record these videos so that we can put them out there so the individuals can take these workshops on their own in their own time. They don't have to wait for us to set it up. The next workshop after that will be the Resilient workshop. And I'm also looking forward to that. Can't wait to go through that. A couple other things I want to talk about this morning, man. I tell you what, if you're sitting here and you're saying, hey, you know what? I just am in a place in my life, right? I'm just struggling. I'm struggling with my mental well-being. I'm struggling with my physical well-being. And I just don't know what to do. Nothing seems to stick. I keep trying. You know, one of the things we learned in the military is that you need a team. You need a team. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I, as a personal trainer and a mindset coach, am here to be that teammate for you. We do that in several different ways. One, we do it through Coffee with Coach every single morning. Most mornings. I won't say every single morning, Monday through Friday, but most mornings we do it, or most days we do it. Sometimes my schedule doesn't allow me to just be able to jump on here early in the morning. Sometimes we have to put it further on. But the other thing that I provide, if you are interested, reach out to me. I will do a free consultation. It's a video consultation with you to talk about your goals and your dreams, and then talk to you about a package we can put together that I will come alongside of you. And sometimes it's not even as detailed as that. That's the real detailed part of it. But it's also, if you're just sitting there saying, Coach, I don't know if I want someone actually coming alongside of me and personally training me or training me in my mindset. I just kind of want a direction. Well, I also provide that as well. So please reach out to me. Let me know if you're interested. It doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to be near me for this to take place. I have the tools. Beautiful. The beauty of technology is the ability to be able to virtually train individuals, whether it be in personal wellness or whether it be in mindset. We can use the technology that we have out there to connect and train you. So please let me know. Get in contact with me. The other thing is, if you like the song that we started this off with, we started off with the 4 a.m. grind talk. That is on, if you go to any Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and search up Grit Nation, you will see a album that song is on, as well as if you look up Grit Nation Volume 1, you can get another album that has our theme song on and several other. If you're looking for that music, we talk about it all the time here at Grant. Start your morning off inspirational, educational, and motivational. And hey, I love music just like everyone else. And someone asked me the other day, what kind of music you listen to? And I said, anything and everything. I really do. Classical, rap. Uh, Not a fan of polka. Not a fan of polka. I'll listen to it. Not a fan of it. Mm. Karma says, you better like polka. Man, folks, you can't breathe coffee. But if you're I think a lot of times there's great artists out there. In fact, one of the best one of the artists I would highly suggest you check out today is Mick Blankenship. He is an independent rock artist. If you like groups like Alice in Chains, Disturbed, other groups like that, you will absolutely love his music. Not only that, Mick's just a really good, cool person. And being an independent artist, very similar to me as an independent author, we're not at hold to a publishing company or a record label. We get to make the music and the stuff that we want and do it the way we want to do it. And a lot of times, what that does is it really does in a world that is all about the machine, it holds us back, right? And so please go support Mick, go check him out. You'll love his music. But what I was saying was our albums that we put out here at Grit Nation are music that has a positive, just really deep message that allows you to be able to enjoy music while you're listening to something positive. So I think that's all the commercials for now. One of the things I've been thinking about doing and wanting to do is start giving you all tools that I have checked out or things that I have looked at. These are not promotional items. I'm not getting sponsored by any of this stuff. It is just things that I'm saying, hey, uh, absolutely, I've checked this out. I've run myself through this. I think you'll benefit from it. And one of those things I wanted to share with you this morning, and I think I'm going to start doing this at least once a week, is Coach's Bookshelf. Coach's Bookshelf. I'm an author. I love to write. I love books. I don't get to read them as much as I used to because of how busy I am, but I still make it an effort and make it a priority to, let's say I don't go through them as fast as I used to. And but I still make it a priority to do so. And one of those books, if you have been around here, great, you remember this. I have read this book. I've listened the audible version of it several times. It is the book The Fear Bubble by Ant Middleton. Now, Ant is a former SBS. You may have heard of SAS before, maybe not. I'm probably showing that my exclusive military mindset, but SBS is a British Special Forces. SAS is also part of it, but the SBS is the boat part of it. And his books are absolutely fantastic, but more importantly, his or more specifically, his book, The Fear Bubble. The Fear Bubble is a mental technique to visualize fear as a contained bubble, allowing you to postpone anxiety and use the energy it provides as motivation. Middleton argues that fear is an enemy, but a source of energy that pushes you to seek challenges and grow, whether in extreme situations or daily life. The book teaches readers how to control and channel fear to overcome personal obstacles. One of the things that Ant Middleton did, and you can find it, I think it might be on Amazon Prime. I think that's where I watched it. He actually went and climbed Everest. Hats off to you, sir. Salute, because that is not something I ever want to do. Don't ever have a desire to do. Sometimes it's funny being in a life coaching situation and an individual who seeks to motivate individuals. There are certain things that people do and they talk about it and they're like, "Oh, it challenged me." I'm like, "Great. I have absolutely." Like David Goggins. Hey, the guy is a great motivator. For those who have read or listened to his books or listened to any of his videos, been through a lot, has conquered a lot. Actually, just rejoined the military recently. He is now a member of the United States Air Force, for those who don't know. But he does these things like ultra marathons. Salute, sir. Don't have a desire to do it. Go check out the book, The Fear Bubble. You, I think, will definitely get some stuff out of it. I think it's an absolute fantastic book and one that is going to officially be the very first book on Coach's bookshelf. Positive story for this morning. Back about 7 years ago in Austin, Texas, a young man named Joey Romano. He was skateboarding near the University of Texas. While skateboarding, he ended up swerving to avoid a car and he slammed into a ditch, breaking his wrist. Now, he could call an ambulance, but he stated that his insurance really wasn't that good. And so instead of calling an ambulance with a broken wrist, he called an Uber. And his Uber driver shows up. His Uber driver is Ben Lacuma. Lacuma. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Or Benny. And Benny helped him get in the car, reclined the passenger seat so that he was more comfortable and took him to an emergency care place and realized that or like a critical care, urgent care. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. And there they said, nope, you need to go to the ER. You definitely broke it. We don't have the ability to fix it here. Benny stayed there with him, put him back into the car, drove him to the ER, and on the way there found out that Joey did not have really any family in the area, no one to take care of him. The interesting part of this story is that was a migrant who had, or not a migrant, an immigrant. Sorry about that. An immigrant who had immigrated to the U.S. recently and says he remembered what it was like to be in a place where you wanted somebody there with you and you didn't have any family close by, no one that could get to you. And so this Uber driver foregoed all of his time as an Uber driver for that day and stayed at the hospital with Joey. And at the end of it, as Joey was getting released, his aunt or grandmother, a family member, finally showed up and offered Benny money, saying, "Man, thank you so much. You gave up some of your income for this. It means a lot that you stayed with him." And Benny's like, "No, I don't want your money. I did this because it was the right thing to do." And 7 years later, neither of those gentlemen realized that their life would be ultimately changed because 7 years later, they are still friends. And it goes to show you the power of humanity. It goes to show you that taking time to do the right thing, taking time in the moment to question what's the right thing here to do. It also goes to show you how our lives change, not just negative. So many times we focus on that. Man, my life just constantly changes negative. I wasn't preparing for this today. I wasn't planning to have a bathroom leak. And oh, by the way, 2 days later, have another bathroom leak. I wasn't planning on any of that. We focus on that negative piece, right? And yet there's so many things that we can take a look and change our perspective and look at that positive piece on how our life can change if we are living present in the moment, being good humans, and doing the right thing. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Coach. This is April 23rd, 2026. It is Thursday, and I am so grateful that you are here. Please go check out The Fear Bubble, put that on your book list, and think about today that story about Benny and Joey and what being just a good human is all about. What I want to talk about today for you, talking about changing perspective and looking at things. Yesterday, I gave you a metaphor, I gave you a story about you being given something special, something unique. It was there's only one of them. And in essence, it was giving a metaphor of your life. Today, I want to kind of build on that. Well, today I want to talk about is I hate cliche sayings. That whole "it is what it is" or living the dream. I talk about it all the time. To me, those are sayings that do not indicate any type of critical, deep thinking. It is just stuff that we've heard repeated. Somebody said it, we just regurgitate it, and there's no meaning really behind it. I also often refer to it as almost saying I love you. We have used that word as a human culture so much, those words I love you so much that I think at times it almost has lost its meaning. If there was a way that in fact, I think it is Avatar, James Cameron's movie, not like Avatar The Last Bender, Avatar with the blue people. They have a statement in there that says, "I see you." And it's just a different way of a deeper way of saying, "I love you," or "I'm connected to you. I see you." And I really like that saying because nobody goes around and says, "I see you." Might be a little creepy, but there is something about that of saying that the emotion that I'm feeling is so deep and so strong that just the words "I love you" aren't gonna cut it. And that's a that's a freebie this morning, folks, because that was a rabbit trail right there. And so I think so many times we have these sayings that we say so often that they have lost their meaning and they roll off our tongue and we just continue going on. You know that if you've been around for a while, you know that when anyone ever tells me when I say, "Hey, how you doing today?" and they say, living the dream." I cannot wait for someone to tell me that. I love it when someone responds that way. I hate it and love it at the same time. It's a love-hate relationship because I always will stop. I'm gonna sneeze. I was trying to hold it back, folks. Sorry about that. I was trying to hold that back, but it was gonna keep going. I love it when they say that because as soon as they do, I just stop and I usually say, "Oh," and then just have this awkward pause. And it usually catches their attention because how many times do we actually respond to that? When someone says, "I'm living the dream," we're usually like, "Oh, cool." And I usually just go, "Oh," and then pause. And in that pause, it catches their attention. They're like, "Oh, wait a minute. That was a weird response. I don't ever get that." And then I ask a follow-up question. I said, "Really, this is your dream?" Now, I'm not asking that in an accusatory or a derogatory sense. I'm asking that in a sense to get them to think. Maybe they are living their dream. If someone were to ask me today, "How are you doing?" I wouldn't because it's overused, but I could honestly say, "Living the dream," because I am. Every single day, I'm getting up and I'm pursuing with passion and discipline my dream. But that's not the norm. Most people are not. And so with that being said, there is another saying that I think is powerful, but I also believe we've overused it. I was watching some videos this morning as I was doing my morning routine of motivational, inspirational, educational, and the rough thing about being a mindset coach and a personal trainer that sometimes gets annoying is that my algorithms are all focused on that. And I'd like it to an extent, but the other thing I don't like is where I will see these content creators, and they've got a lot of likes, they've got a lot of comments, and all they're doing is regurgitating in a really nice package the same thing over and over. And I came across this content creator that was saying some stuff that I'm just like, really, dude? Like, all you're doing is regurgitating. And I think a lot of times when we get to the saying I'm about to say, it is that. And I've heard a lot of motivational or life coaches say this, and I'm going to be one of them, but I'm hoping to catch your attention in a different way this morning with it. And it's that saying that says, "You have survived every bad day up to this point." Now, it sounds cool. It absolutely sounds cool. We do have here at Grit, we always say ask questions and break things down. And so we need to give it a pause. It's so easy to say for me as a life or a mindset coach, not a life coach. I hate that term. Mind coach. It's easy for me to say as a mind coach, well, you've lived and you've survived all the worst days of your life so far. Well, no kidding, coach. Uh yeah, no kidding. I'm still here. You're right. And we need to break that down for a second and ask ourselves, does that phrase actually have any meat to it? Or is it just a sugary substance, that sweet candy that activates the dopamines in the brain? And we're like, oh, yeah, what do we do with it? Does it have substance? And if it does, how long do we chew on it? And three, what action does it initiate? Because that's what gives things substance, real substance, nutritional, mind or body substance. It is that understanding that this, whatever it is, whether it's the fear bubble book, whether it is a saying, whether it's a video, when we talk about inspirational, educational, motivational, what is the substance that is lasting and initiates action? That's the piece where the rubber meets the road. And so I am going to say this morning. Yesterday, we talked about in the coffee with coach, we talked about you having a life that is powerful and has been that is yours unique. It is only one of it. Today, I will say you may be feeling overwhelmed. You may be questioning things in life, saying, I don't know if I made the right decision. I don't know if I've made the right decision in my job, in my career, my dreams, my partnerships, my finances, my personal well-being, my mental health. I'm so overwhelmed. And if I sit and think about it for too long, it's even that much more overwhelming. And coach, I am struggling. Maybe there's someone listening to this today struggling with depression, struggling with habits that you can't seem to kick, struggling with that just doldrums and the mundane. And instead of thriving, you're just surviving. And you got up this morning and you didn't do a morning routine. Maybe you did, and it just kind of went in one ear and out the other. Of I just I'm doing this because coach says to do it, but it's just not sinking in. Folks, I'll tell you, I have those mornings. I have those mornings where I still educational, motivational, inspirational, I still do it. I don't want to. And I find myself kind of zoning it out because I don't want to be motivated. I don't want to be inspired. I don't want to learn anything. I want to be in a bad mood, a desolate mood, a woe is me mood, a victim mood. I just want to do that. That's where the discipline comes in that says, no way. And then I can sit there and look at you and say, listen, whatever it is you are struggling with and fighting with today, whether it just be a mindset issue, whether it be an overwhelming issue where literally life can be, I'm not here to tell you life won't be overwhelming. It will be overwhelming. And there will probably be more days than not where it will be overwhelming. And then I'm going to say the phrase, but you have survived every overwhelming day up to this point. Fantastic. Let's shut this coffee with coach down. Coach is using overused statements, and thank you. Have a good day. No, now we've stopped. We have that awkward silence. We awkwardly look at each other in the eyes and we break it down. Okay, coach said it. It has been said. I heard it. I'm going to stop for a second. What does it mean? And what action will it ensue and initiate into my life today? Maybe nothing. And if that's the case, then you forget that I even said it. So I break that down and I stop and I say, okay, I have survived every overwhelming, every bad day, every crushing day so far. What does that mean? What do those days look like? And I can start looking back. We're not living in the past, but we can learn from the past. So I look back and I'm like, okay, whew, yeah, there's some days. There's definitely some days that I have. Ooh, yep. I remember that day. Oh wow, I remember that night. It was a sleepless night. In fact, I remember that whole week I didn't sleep. I was so just anxious. I didn't see anything was going to work out, but it did. Okay. What does this do for us? First of all, when we stop and think about the phrase and we begin to break it down and we reflect on the things we have been through, it gives us hope that we can make it through whatever it is we're going through. Second thing, it allows us to be able to start breaking those things down. How did I get through that? What are the lessons that I've learned through those times that I have made it through? What are the tools I utilized? For me, it's gratitude. For me, it's understanding that when I think I'm going to give up, don't, because the answer could be very well around the corner and it has been up every single day up till this day. So I can assume and believe and hope and look for the answer today or tomorrow in the understanding that it has always shown up if I didn't quit. And so now it puts me on alert. What is that? That's the action. We talk about it needs to initiate an action. So now today I can sit there with hope, with anticipation, with focus. I can sit there and start looking for an answer. Because if I just sit back and mope, if I just sit back and all I think about is quitting, if I sit back and just be the victim, that is not initiating any positive action forward. And it is keeping my focus on nothing that is going to provide a solution. But when I take that phrase, look back and say, okay, I went through that. When I sit there and think about the times that I've gone through with my now adult kids, my daughter and I were talking yesterday. And she has been through hell. All of my kids have been through hell, losing a parent to suicide, different things that they've gone through in their life. They've probably been through more things before they were 20 years old than most adults will go through in their lifetime with the least amount of life experience. And my daughter and I were talking, and she, man, the woman that she is, and the person that she is, and the individual she is, I'm so proud of where she is today. But there was some touch and go a few years back. Those who've been with grit remember those days where I just wanted to get her to her adult years. And I honestly didn't know if we would get her there. And she knows this. It's not like I'm sitting there expressing something that she would be like, "Dad, I can't believe you said that." I've asked her if I could share parts of her story. She has said I could. So this is nothing like I'm not betraying a trust here. But there were times that every single day as a parent, all I could think about is let's get her through half the day. Let's get her through the end of the day. We were talking yesterday morning in the kitchen as she was getting some coffee. We found out our coffee maker broke. So I had to get a new coffee maker because you can't have coffee with coach without coffee. And so we were talking yesterday and she was explaining some really positive things that are going on in her life. And she has started this new job where she's now working with her brother. And I am amazed at the steps she's taking. And so I paused the conversation for a second and I said, I wish you could see you through my eyes. She kind of looked at me strange. And she's like, "What do you mean, Dad?" I said, "There was a time where I wasn't sure if we would ever be having this conversation at this age. And all I needed you to do is understand that life does, but you couldn't see it then. And that's okay because we've all been there. I've been there. But now seeing you where you're at today, I am so proud." And she said, "Dad, you're right. I couldn't see it then, but I made it." And now we continued the conversation. And I told her, I said, "Now what you can do is when those hard days come, because sweetheart, you're gonna have hard days. You can look back and say, I made it through losing a parent to suicide. I made it through my own mental health battles." And you can start breaking down the things that you did during that time. And one of those was having a support group around you, the importance of a team. And so when we use that phrase, "You have survived all the hardest days of your life up to this point," and we pause and we break it down and we start utilizing the information that we derive from it, it can instigate and initiate an action plan for whatever it is you're facing today. Why? Because your response, it's your responsibility. And you know what? The story's not over.
You thought the show was over. Storyline read clean. You left before the credits. Didn't wait to see the scene. I was flat on the canvas. You called it tragedy. You slipped out through the side door. Didn't check on me. House lights fading, but something in me stayed. Let you close the program.
Great Nation, thank you for joining me this morning with Coffee with Coach. Kyle, you have an excellent day as well. And for every one of you who have joined the workshop, man, get ready. We're going to have one hell of a powerful workshop. You have value. You have purpose. I believe in you. You're out there today, you're struggling with something. You say, man, I just wish somebody would believe in me. I want you to know I do. And if there's anything that you got from this, knowing I don't just randomly say words, just say words. I truly do believe the power of you, power what you have potential to be. Your response is yours.